Welcome to Venice, the floating city of Italy. Join us as we explore this magical destination for the next 2 days and have an unforgettable trip of a lifetime. First and foremost, we arrived in Trieste. After our incredible journey at sea, it was time to travel to Venice. Our adventure began with a short train ride that took us right into the heart of the city. Our anticipation kept building until the city was finally in view. We started our journey by wandering the labyrinth of canals and charming streets. Venice and its lagoon have been a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1987. The city's unique architecture, art, and history make it one of the wonders of the world. We even crossed the iconic Rialto Bridge, which offered breathtaking views of the Grand Canal below. The Rialto Bridge is the oldest of the 4 bridges that span the Venice's Grand Canal and was originally a wooden structure built in the 12th century. The current stone bridge was completed in 1591 and was designed by Antonio da Ponte, who won a design competition against some of the most famous architects of all time, including Michelangelo. Now the bridge is full of beautiful shops and markets. Venice. After our little stroll, we made it to our hotel, which was a scene right out of a postcard. Here's my Tron in Venice. After a quick refresh, it was time to dive into the Venetian experience. Our first official stop was lunch at a local pizzeria.
This is the Italia. This is the Trando. Ooh. This whole thing is like Diagon Alley or something from Harry Potter.
Next, we made our way into the heart of Venice, the Piazza San Marco, often referred to as the drawing room of Europe because it has been the center of the Venetian public's life for centuries. The Piazza was first established in the 9th century and has undergone several expansions and renovations over hundreds of years. Its current layout was completed in the 12th century, making it a historical centerpiece of Venice. The Piazza is surrounded by some of the most famous landmarks of all time, including St. Mark's Basilica, the Doge's Palace, and the Campanile Bell Tower. After enjoying the history of the square, we started our reserved tour of the Doge Palace. Walking through the grand halls, it's impossible not to be in awe of all of the opulence and history that surrounds you. The Doge's Palace was a political and administrative center of the Venetian Republic for centuries. It housed the government offices, courtrooms, and even the city's prisons. The palace is a stunning example of Gothic architecture with its elegant facades, pointed arches, and intricate detailing. However, it also incorporates elements of Byzantine, Renaissance, and Moorish styles. The palace was the residence of the Doge, the elected leader of Venice. Over 120 Doges lived here from the 9th century to the fall of the Republic in 1797. The Doge Palace is home to numerous masterpieces by renowned Venetian artists, including Titian, Veronese, Tintoretto, and Bellini. Next door to the palace was the St. Mark's Basilica, a masterpiece of Byzantine architecture. Our tour continued inside, where we got to see the mosaics telling stories of Venice's rich past. The basilica was originally built to house the relics of St. Mark the Evangelist, which were allegedly stolen from Alexandria in Egypt by Venetian merchants in 828 AD. After our tour, the day started to wind down as we took a leisurely stroll along the canals, soaking in the beauty of Venice as the sun began to set. Venice is often called the floating city because it is constructed on a foundation of millions of wooden piles driven into the mud and clay beneath the lagoon. Despite being over 1,000 years old, these piles have remained strong due to the lack of oxygen in the water. Venice is built on 118 small islands connected by over 400 bridges and separated by around 150 canals. The canals serve as the city's streets, and most transportation is done by boat. Dinner tonight took place at a charming local restaurant, where we indulged in traditional Venetian dishes.
I love the gondolas though. I got the last steak. Oh, he's whistling.
Of course, you need the whole experience.
Finally, we ended our day with a stunning sunset over the lagoon. A perfect ending to the perfect first day in Venice. Good morning from day 2 in Venice. First things first, I grabbed a delicious cannoli breakfast as we wandered the canals and stumbled across beautiful architecture in Venice. For our second day in this beautiful city, we started with a peaceful walk through the quieter streets, making our way to the iconic Bridge of Sighs. The bridge got its evocative name from the idea that prisoners would sigh as they crossed it, taking one last look at Venice through the small windows before being led to their cells or execution. After seeing the bridge, we went inside the Cora Museum, located in the very heart of the Piazza San Marco. Here we dived deeper into Venetian history through its impressive art collections and artifacts. The museum is named after Teodoro Correr, a wealthy Venetian aristocrat who bequeathed his extensive art collection, historical artifacts, and library to the city upon his death in 1830. The Correr Museum is located in the Napoleonic wing of the Piazza San Marco. The wing was originally built by Napoleon as a royal palace during his occupation of Venice. The museum's collection is vast and diverse, covering various aspects of Venetian life. It includes fine art, historical documents, maps, coins, costumes, and everyday objects from Venice's past. The museum's imperial rooms were once part of the royal apartments used by Napoleon and later by the Austrian Emperor Franz Joseph. These rooms are richly decorated and offer a glimpse into the luxurious lifestyle of the era's rulers. They include neoclassical furnishings, ornate ceilings, and beautiful chandeliers.
Hey, Gloria.
After spending the day immersing ourselves in history, it was time for a break. So we headed to the famous Florian Cafe, the oldest cafe in Italy, for some afternoon tea.
So hot. Ooh.
Founded in 1720, the Florian Cafe is the oldest continuously operating coffee house in Italy and one of the oldest in the world.
Okay. Before it melts, you have to eat too.
You guys start eating. There's mine. And there's everyone. Yay.
After the famous cafe visit, we did what everyone needs to do when in Venice. We took a gondola ride. As we glided through the small canals, the city's beauty from the water was absolutely mesmerizing. Eventually, the gondola took us out onto the Grand Canal, the main waterway that snakes throughout all of Venice. Here, the canal widened, offering sweeping views of the Grand Palazzos, historical churches, and bustling vaporettos. The grandeur of Venice is on full display as we floated past some of the city's most famous landmarks, including Cadoro, the Rialto Bridge, and Santa Maria della Salute. After the most romantic time spent on the gondola, we had our final dinner in Venice.
Hawaiian pizza in Italy. You monster.
No.
As our time in Venice came to a close, we took one last scenic water taxi ride to the airport. It was a bittersweet farewell to this unforgettable city. Venice was just magical. Until next time, arrivederci. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey through Venice. Be sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out next week's video. Arrivederci!